Most people will never get rich. And no, it's not because they don't work hard. It's not because they aren't smart. It's because they don't understand the game. The rich don't just make money, they make sacrifices. The kind of sacrifices that keep them ahead while everyone else struggles just to survive. Robert Kiyosaki figured this out decades ago, but most people ignored him. Schools never taught it. The system doesn't want you to know it. But today, I'm pulling back the curtain. If you don't know these hidden sacrifices, you'll stay exactly where you are, stuck in the same cycle, wondering why nothing changes. The question is, are you ready for the truth? The first sacrifice, giving up the need for approval. Most people don't fail because they aren't capable. They fail because they're afraid of what others will think. They let family, friends, and society dictate their choices. They fear standing out, making unconventional decisions, or being judged for wanting more out of life. But the rich, they don't care about approval. They care about results. If you want to be rich, you have to get comfortable being misunderstood. People will call you crazy for skipping vacations to invest. They'll mock you for choosing business over parties. They'll question why you're taking financial risks instead of following the safe path. But here's the truth. The same people who doubt you now will be the ones asking for advice later. Take Jeff Bezos. When he quit his high-paying job to start Amazon, people thought he was making a huge mistake. They couldn't understand why he'd leave stability behind for a risky online bookstore. Fast forward to today, and he's one of the richest men on the planet. The lesson? The opinions of small-minded people mean nothing. The only thing that matters is whether your actions are getting you closer to your goals. So stop seeking approval. Stop trying to fit in. Stop worrying about what people think. Because the moment you start living for yourself instead of others is the moment you take control of your future. The second sacrifice. Letting go of laziness to learn about money. Money isn't complicated. People just think it is. That's why so many spend years chasing degrees and working long hours, but never take the time to understand how money actually works. They assume if they keep earning, things will work out. But then reality hits. Debt piles up, savings don't grow, and financial stress never goes away. The truth? Wealth isn't built by working harder. It's built by working smarter. The rich don't wait for schools or employers to teach them about money. They take matters into their own hands. Instead of wasting hours scrolling on social media or binge-watching shows, they're learning about investments, cash flow, taxes, and ways to multiply their income. Think about it. If you don't understand money, how can you ever control it? That's why most people stay stuck. They tell themselves, money is too complicated. Investing is for experts. I'll figure it out later. But later never comes. Years pass, and they realize they're stuck in the same financial struggles, just older. Meanwhile, those who took the time to learn about money are now financially free. Look at someone like Sam. He never had a fancy degree or a high-paying job, but he was curious. Instead of ignoring money matters, he read books, listened to successful investors, and tried different strategies. He made mistakes, learned from them, and kept improving. Over time, his knowledge turned into wealth, while his friends who once laughed at his obsession with finances were still living paycheck to paycheck. This is the reality. If you don't learn about money, someone else, your employer, the government, or the banks, will always have power over you. Financial knowledge isn't optional, it's survival. You have two choices: keep avoiding it and stay stuck, or put in the effort to learn and take control of your financial future. The rich choose knowledge over laziness. The question is, will you? The third sacrifice: shift from spending to building. Money isn't the problem, it's how people use it. Some treat money like a ticket to instant gratification. The moment they get paid, they're already looking for ways to spend it. New gadgets, expensive dinners, a car upgrade. If their income increases, their spending follows. But this cycle never leads to financial freedom. It only keeps them dependent on their next paycheck. Wealthy people see money differently. They don't just spend it, they multiply it. Every dollar that comes in isn't meant to be used up, but put to work. Instead of asking, what can I buy? They ask, how can I make this money grow? A real-life example? When Apple launched its first iPhone, millions lined up to get one, many swiping their credit cards without a second thought. But instead of buying the phone, I bought Apple stock. Years later, that stock became far more valuable than any iPhone I could have owned. One was an expense, the other an investment. That's the difference between consumers and investors. If you're serious about escaping financial limitations, you need to rethink how you handle money. Rather than spending on things that lose value, start putting it into assets that pay you back. Rental properties that bring in monthly income. Stocks that generate dividends. Businesses that make money even when you're not working. Anything that increases in value over time instead of depreciating. This doesn't mean you can't enjoy life. It means prioritizing wealth building first. Invest now, then use the income from those investments to fund your lifestyle. That's how real financial freedom is built. So next time you get paid, stop and think. Will I use this money like a consumer or an investor? That single decision could change your entire future. The fourth sacrifice, trading instant pleasure for lasting wealth. Money comes in, and for many it goes out just as fast. A raise, a bonus, a little extra cash. It's an excuse to upgrade the car, book a vacation, or splurge on the latest gadget. It feels good in the moment, but that moment doesn't last. What's left? A bigger credit card bill and the same financial stress. The rich play a different game. Instead of spending whatever they earn, they invest it first. They prioritize building assets, real estate, stocks, businesses, things that grow in value and generate income over time. In the beginning, this means sacrificing luxuries. It means driving an older car, living in a modest home, skipping the expensive dinners. But that sacrifice buys something far more valuable: freedom. When my wife and I started out, we could have bought a nice house and settled into a comfortable life. Instead, we put our money into rental properties. While others were upgrading their lifestyles, we were reinvesting every dollar. It wasn't easy. Friends were buying dream homes and brand new cars while we lived in a small apartment, watching every expense. But we knew the payoff would come, and it did. Fast forward a few years, and while many of those same friends were still stuck working to cover their bills, we had built an income stream that allowed us to step back from traditional work. That's the difference between those who build wealth and those who stay stuck. One group is thinking about today, while the other is focused on tomorrow. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy your money. It just means shifting your mindset. Instead of financing a car now, invest in assets that can pay for it later. Instead of spending everything on entertainment, put a portion into investments that will eventually buy you time. The reality is simple. Financial freedom requires patience. The question is, will you trade short-term pleasure for long-term success? Or will you keep repeating the cycle, hoping things will change? The decision is yours. The fifth sacrifice, cutting out fearful and small-minded advice. Not everyone giving you financial advice knows what they're talking about. In fact, most of them don't. They'll warn you about risks, tell you to play it safe, and insist that financial success is just a matter of luck. That's too risky. Stick to a stable job. Starting a business? Only a few lucky people make it. Investing is gambling. You'll lose everything. They say these things as if they're facts, but in reality, they're just repeating the same limiting beliefs that have kept them stuck. Here's the truth. Most people handing out financial advice are broke. They're trapped in a system they don't understand, yet they feel qualified to tell others how to navigate it. If you follow their mindset, you'll end up in the exact same place, working for decades, always worrying about money, and never achieving real freedom. The wealthy don't make that mistake. They don't take advice from people who are stuck in the system. They learn from those who have escaped it. They surround themselves with entrepreneurs, investors, and mentors who think bigger, take calculated risks, and know how to build lasting wealth. Take Steve, for example. He grew up in a family where financial security meant one thing: getting a job with a steady paycheck. His parents encouraged him to work hard, stay loyal to a company, and avoid risky ventures like investing or starting a business. But Steve saw something different. His neighbor, an entrepreneur, was living life on his terms, traveling, making his own schedule, and never worrying about money. One day, Steve asked him for advice. Instead of talking about job security, the entrepreneur explained how he built multiple income streams through investments and business ownership. Steve had a choice: follow the traditional path his family believed in, or step into the unknown and learn how wealth was really created. He chose the second option, and that decision changed his life forever. The rich make an uncomfortable sacrifice. They distance themselves from people who think small. They don't waste time justifying their ambitions to skeptics. Instead, they invest in relationships that challenge their mindset, pay to be in the right rooms, and seek out people who are already where they want to be. They understand one simple truth: your environment shapes your financial future. Look around. Are the people you spend time with pushing you forward or holding you back? Are they inspiring you to think bigger or filling your mind with doubt? If you're constantly surrounded by people who fear risk, complain about money, and believe wealth is only for the lucky, you'll absorb their beliefs without even realizing it. Growth is painful. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, breaking away from familiar circles, and sometimes being misunderstood. But staying small, that's even more painful. The choice is yours. Keep listening to people who've never built wealth, or start learning from those who have, because that one decision could change the course of your financial future forever. The sixth sacrifice: letting go of comfort to chase greatness. Most people don't get rich because they refuse to leave their comfort zones. They want success, but they also want to stay safe. They crave financial freedom, but they're unwilling to deal with discomfort, stress, or uncertainty. The problem? Nothing great is built in comfort. The rich understand that growth only happens when you push past your limits. They embrace risk, take on challenges, and willingly put themselves in difficult situations to level up. They sacrifice easy for exceptional. Look at athletes. They don't become world-class by training when they feel like it. They push their bodies to exhaustion, endure pain, and go beyond what seems possible. The same principle applies to money. If you want extraordinary results, you have to put in extraordinary effort. This means working late nights when everyone else is relaxing. It means failing, learning, and failing again until you figure it out. It means stepping into uncertainty, knowing that on the other side of discomfort is the life you've always wanted. Ask yourself, are you willing to sacrifice comfort for greatness? Because if not, you're choosing an average life by default. The seventh sacrifice: stopping the blame game and taking full responsibility. Most people love to blame. They blame the economy, their upbringing, their boss, the government, anything except themselves. And as long as they do, they stay stuck. The rich don't play that game. They take full responsibility for their financial situation. Even if something isn't their fault, they ask, "What can I do about it?" Instead of waiting for things to change, they make things change. Think about it. Blaming others gives you zero power. If the economy is the problem, you're stuck. If your boss is the reason you're broke, what can you do? But the moment you take ownership, you gain control. You start looking for solutions instead of excuses. Take Oprah Winfrey. She was born into poverty, faced unimaginable hardships, and could have blamed the world for her struggles. Instead, she took control. She built herself up, created opportunities, and became a billionaire on her terms. Every wealthy person makes this sacrifice. They give up the comfort of blaming others and take full responsibility for their results. So here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you financial freedom. If you want to be rich, you have to take control. The eighth sacrifice: breaking free from the illusion of security. Most people have been sold a lie. From the time we're kids, we're told to chase security, study hard, get a stable job, and hold on to it for dear life. It sounds safe, right? But here's the truth. Security is the biggest illusion of them all. If your entire income comes from a job, you have no real security. Your boss can fire you. Your company can collapse. Your entire industry can become irrelevant overnight. And when that happens, what's left? a desperate scramble for another job, dependence on government pensions, and a lifetime of hoping things don't fall apart. The system was never designed to make you rich, just to keep you dependent. The wealthy see it differently. They don't chase security, they chase control. Instead of relying on a single paycheck, they build multiple streams of income. Instead of trading time for money, they figure out how to make money work for them. They invest, they start businesses, and they take risks in the short term to gain freedom in the long run. That's the price of financial independence. Trading comfort today for control tomorrow. I get it. The safe path is tempting. I could have taken it too. After leaving the Navy, I had two choices: play it safe, get a job, and live for weekends, or take control, start a business, and build something lasting. I chose control, and I paid for it. There were nights I slept in my car, days I questioned everything. But I kept pushing forward because I knew the struggle was temporary, but the freedom would be permanent. Most people won't make that choice. They cling to a paycheck, afraid to step into the unknown. And the irony? These same people call entrepreneurs and investors risky. But think about it. What's riskier? Betting your entire future on a company that can replace you at any moment? Or building something that generates money even while you sleep? The system is designed to keep you trapped. Salaried workers pay the highest taxes. Banks encourage you to take on debt instead of teaching you how to build wealth. Schools don't train you to think, they train you to obey. But here's the good news. You don't have to play their game. You have a choice. You can break free. You can take control. But first, you have to make the same sacrifice that every wealthy person has made before you. Give up the illusion of security. Choose control. Your future depends on it. The ninth sacrifice: ditching the employee mindset. Most people are trained to be workers, not owners. From the time we're kids, we're told to follow orders, get good grades, and land a stable job. Schools don't teach you how to build wealth. They teach you how to work for someone who already has it. That's exactly why most people spend their entire lives making others rich instead of themselves. Think about it. If you're earning a salary, someone else is profiting from your time and effort. If you work for a company, that company makes more off you than they pay you. If you rent a home, your landlord is growing wealthier with your money. But if you invest in something that pays you, you finally flip the game in your favor. The difference between the rich and everyone else? They stop thinking like employees and start thinking like owners. I had to learn this the hard way. Growing up, I was told to study hard and get a good job. That's what my poor dad believed. But my rich dad, he told me, work to learn, not just to earn. At first, it didn't make sense. Why would I focus on learning over making more money? But when I started paying attention to how businesses worked, not just how to collect a paycheck, everything changed. I realized that real financial power isn't in working harder. It's in owning things that make money without you constantly working for it. The employee mindset is a trap. The more you work, the more you earn. But there's a limit. No one can work 24/7. Even doctors, lawyers, and high-paid professionals are stuck in this cycle. If they stop working, the money stops too. The wealthy play a different game. They build businesses, invest in real estate, buy stocks, own patents, and create passive income streams. They put their money to work so they don't have to trade time for every dollar. This doesn't mean you should quit your job tomorrow, but it does mean you need to shift your mindset. Stop asking, how can I get a raise? Start asking, how can I create an asset? If you're working a job, soak up as much knowledge as possible so you can build something of your own. If you're earning a paycheck, put part of it into investments that pay you back over time. If you're stuck in the system, start figuring out how to break free from it. Because here's the truth, employees stay trapped. Owners get free. The question is, are you willing to make it too? The 10th sacrifice, dropping your ego and learning from the right people. A lot of people would rather look smart than actually become smart. They avoid asking questions, hate admitting when they don't know something, and let their pride get in the way of learning. Instead of seeking guidance, they stumble through life making the same financial mistakes over and over, just to protect their ego. Wealthy people, they don't play that game. They know that success leaves clues. If someone has already figured out how to build wealth, why waste time reinventing the wheel? The key is to learn from those who've already achieved what you want. But that takes humility. It means accepting that maybe, just maybe, everything you thought you knew about money was wrong. Take someone like David. For years, he tried to invest on his own, relying on random advice from friends and YouTube videos. He thought he could figure it all out by himself. But his investments never really took off. One day he swallowed his pride and reached out to a successful investor. He asked questions, took notes, and applied what he learned. Within a few years, his finances transformed. The difference? He stopped letting his ego hold him back. Rich people never stop learning. Even after making millions, they still read books, hire mentors, and attend events to stay ahead. They know that the cost of ignorance is way higher than the cost of education. If you want to master money, start by learning from those who've already done it. Want to invest in real estate? Follow real estate investors? Want to build a business? Study successful entrepreneurs. The biggest mistake most people make is taking financial advice from broke friends, co-workers, or family members who have never built wealth. That's like taking fitness advice from someone who's never stepped inside a gym. This sacrifice isn't easy. It means admitting you might have been wrong about money your entire life. It means realizing you have to relearn things from scratch. But here's the truth. You can either cling to your ego and stay broke, or let it go and start growing. Rich people make this sacrifice. The question is, will you? Right now, you've got two options. You can keep doing what you've always done, playing it safe, worrying about what others think, and making excuses. But if you do that, nothing changes. Or you can start making the tough choices that set the rich apart. It won't be easy. It won't feel good at first. But ask anyone who's done it, was it worth it? Every single one will say yes. The difference is simple. The rich put in the effort first so they can enjoy life later. The poor avoid the struggle and end up struggling forever. So what's it gonna be? If this message made you think, don't just scroll past. Like the video if you're ready to break the cycle. Subscribe if you want to learn how to actually build wealth. And if you're serious about changing your life, watch the next video. I promise it'll open your eyes.